Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube. Scooby Steve here again.
So I went on ahead and taken off all of the bed rails here. I have somebody that wanted that one, and since it had holes in the top for the bed cover, I wasn't going to use them because, well, I'm not going to use a bed cover, and I didn't want holes in them. I wanted them to look nice like my main Bajas do. While I was at it, the wiring up here for the bed lights and the third brake light, I went on ahead and figured out what pins go to what here. So this blue with black is the bed lights, and then the white with black is power for the brake. In the earlier video, I talked about how I was going to use this. Let me get that to focus in. This door switch so that when the door is closed, there's no power, and then when I open it, the cargo lights will come on. I also need to figure out some sort of light for inside of here. I think I might also put a strip on the back side of this door, so again, when this door is open, it lights up that storage area, so if I open the door I can see. And then I just would prefer to have one up in the roof anyways. So that's where I'm at. This stuff is cured for a week. I just had the dogs on it. Of course, they are moving around a whole bunch, playing around on it. And there is no signs of scratches. The only problem that I'm having is here. And that's just because when this opens, it's too close to this. It is what it is. It's aluminum. It's not going to rust. I'm not worried about it. The piece for here and the piece for here I ordered. Those should be ready for tomorrow. I will get those welded on, and then I will start getting this lopped off. Start getting that figured out. I did throw a Baja door panel on. I think that's the route I'm going to go. Unfortunately, it sucks though. I can't lift the storage lid with the doors closed. It's just too close and it starts to scratch here. So either I'm going to have both doors open when I lift it, or I will have to make aluminum door cards. I still haven't decided on that. It's just kind of a by project basis here. One of the things that I wanted to do with this though is I wanted to be able to take it camping. I decided I'm going to try to make a Prinsu rack. I've already made the mounts here. It's a fender washer with a steel spacer. I tacked 4 corners all the way around. And it just uses nice factory holes. The plan here is to use from here and then have a triangle piece that flares out. And then I would like to have it outside of this right here for the uprights. And then I'll get some 80-20 extrusion. Now obviously from here to here really isn't wide enough to have a rooftop temp on it. So I'm actually going to extend it all the way back here. And here and here I am going to use, you can see there where the bed extender was mounted to. So I'm going to make some 1x1 or some 2x2 uprights that'll go up and maybe curve in too. So it'll go up, curve in maybe, and then go straight up to that. And that will make a full length rack for it. There's also normally a bolt back here for the rack. I want to use that, so I might cut a small hole in this piece. I also need to try to find some weather stripping that is about 1 inch thick and preferably concave. I think that'll look nice on it. So that's where I'm at. I'm gonna go on ahead, pull all those off, get them all welded on.
So this weekend I'm going to work on getting this done.
So that way I can get that made, that all sealed up, and then start on whatever the next project will be, which will probably be this front plate. Because once this front plate's done, that means it's essentially full weight. I can go get it weighed, and I can get it titled. Well, not titled, but I can get it registered and get plates for it. I did decide on this though, how long I'm going to do. They say that the tongue should be a little wider than half the width of your main vehicle that you tow with. So these are 70.1. So I did 35, and then I actually went out to 40. Alright, so just got back from the metal place. I already made a cardboard template. I don't know where it went, but I made it wide enough to overlap here. And then on the back side I marked my piece. And then I marked where the edge was and where that bend started, and then just straight pieced it. Cut that piece out, so that's how that'll look. I got both of these all burned in. So that's done. The back side, I'm not going to weld on the back side. I don't want to get too much heat in it and warp it. That I can just throw some seam sealer on. As for the Princey rack build, so I'll kind of show you here what I used. So I used a M8 by 1.25 at 45 length, a split sleeve that's 5/16 because I couldn't find any M8. That's an inch long, and then just a M8 fender washer, and then a, gosh, what was this, 3/16 I believe, or 1/8 inch. I think that's just 1/8. Might be 3/16 honestly. No, this is 1/8. This is some leftover stuff that I had. So I made a 3x3 triangle, and then just rounded off the edges. Now the way that I burned all this together to keep it straight, see if I can kind of hold the camera here. So I put the nut in through. I put a second washer on here to keep from burning through this washer, so that way it'd take a little heat out of it. You can see the edges, how it kind of started to fray them away, but having that second washer there helped. And then just putting a nut on it and then clamping it all together so that way it couldn't move. And I did that for both ways. I only tacked this, but since this was thicker material than the washer, I went on ahead and burned it all the way in. So I've got 4 of those. I still need to make the back pieces for it, but Ace Hardware did not have long enough bolts. The longest that they only had was 70. I bought those and those weren't long enough. So I'm going to have to probably go to Fastenal and spend a boatload of money on it. So that's how that goes. I've already got these 2 up here and on. Get to focus here. So that's how that's going to work. I did find some kind of rubber material to lay down in this track, so that way it hides all the pinch welds. Being that this is going to be as low as it is, I mean, this is about chest height on me. Not exactly the tallest person, but you will be able to see that. So I want to get that all cleaned up. So that's where we're at for today. I spent the morning getting the other piece cut out, getting them all beveled, and then welding them in. I had to go get some welding gas because I ran out. So, I really need to get these pieces trimmed up, but I plan on using the silver angle piece that I have down there. I don't want to take those off until this is done, so this will be next. And then I will finally get these pieces cut off and get a front plate ordered and trailer it out to my buddy and have him welded all in. He's got a, like I said in the past video, he's got a TIG machine. He'll be able to lay down some real nice welds without burning through. Had a couple issues where it would get a it burned through, and then it hit paint and primer, and it didn't like it. So, I mean, but it is straight. So there's that. But I just don't trust myself to do that big piece. I'm worried about it warping. So yeah, that's where we're at. I'm gonna clean up the shop here. It's getting real dirty again. So I'm out here working on the battery box. A little bit of an issue here. So originally I was going to use this bar here, and I was going to make a bracket that would attach to this. The problem was the box that I was using, it was resting on that, but it wasn't flat against from that side to that side. And also the problem of trying to shoehorn that in, that piece was in the way. So I just cut it off. Which is fine. I mean, it's going to be attached all around this perimeter here, which means I can take that bar off and I can put it on that Baja. I didn't need it on this. I just put it on for mock-up purposes to kind of see how it fit. So that means I can pull that off. I can put just the Baja Turbo sway bar that I have on this. By the way, the Baja Turbo sway bar does not fit with that brace. So you would probably have to find a BE5 or a BH5 Legacy Outback sway bar from a JDM car, which means shipping it overseas, which is what I'm going to have to do with that. That's fine. I know what bar I want for that. I want the S401 sway bar for that, which I believe is 19 millimeter in the front and 21 in the back, if I remember correctly. So from here, I'm going to get some 3/4 inch aluminum strips, and then I will have it welded on to the edge there. This back piece needs welded on, and then I still need to make the front plate that tucks back. And then this will be mostly done. I've got the front plate over there, 5 foot by 5 foot section. I need to get the front little horns cut off on this still. And then once I have that cut off, I can put the plate up against it, kind of trim the plate up. I might tack it in a couple places. And then I can just trailer it down to my buddy to have him fully TIG weld it. And it'll look all nice and pretty without having to grind a bunch of welds or worrying about the 14 gauge steel warping. And I will have him weld up this battery box as well. This will, what I'm thinking here is I'm going to grind the paint off of the bed here. I'm going to put some panel bond adhesive on it and then rivet it down so that way it is completely weather sealed. And then on the underside, I'll just seam seal it, and then it's all going to get Raptor lined on the underside, so I don't have to worry about it leaking. I think I should probably put a drain in this though, so I might cut a hole and kind of find a way to take the hole and concave it down and then attach a piece of hose or something to it, or just a little piece of aluminum rod, and have that welded to that so that way it can drain. I'm worried about water getting up here and then falling back into it. And this is at an angle. It's angled downward because obviously that's just the body lines of the back. So that means all the water would go forward. The battery will probably sit up here. Another reason, I don't know if I talked about it or not, but the end goal for this is to have it on air ride. Same with that one, so I've got to make a second battery box for that as well. And hopefully this is big enough to house the air ride system. If not, well, I'll probably put a bulk of the items in there and then have to put maybe the tank outside. I don't think the tank is going to be a problem if it's exposed, but I should definitely have the air compressors down in the box. So this harness, I have already depinned out the evap canister in the trailer wiring harness for it, obviously, since I don't need it. Let's see here. I still haven't gotten anywhere with the Prinsu rack. I still have the mounts just made for it. I did trim the tongue as well. Raptor liner's holding up nice. The dogs have been in this plenty. They've scratched around on it. They need their nails trimmed and everything. So this is held up really nicely. Really happy with it. I just need to get these panels all prepped, Raptor lined, and I still need to make that cover for that side. That's where I'm at for now. I'm gonna go on ahead and call it a day here. It's about noon. It's starting to get hot in the garage. I didn't have the AC on last night, so the garage is cooking up pretty hot. And by the way, this is about 11.5 inches deep, so I mean it's a pretty deep setup. So on the main Baja, this isn't going to be a battery box. That'll just be a air ride system box. So I think I can fit all the components in it, hopefully. I need to get a hold of somebody or find somebody that's got an air ride system and kind of measure out the stuff and see if I can group fit it in there. So, alrighty guys,